W.F. House presents an unabridged recording of Guardians of the Wild Unicorns by Lindsay Littleson, narrated by Laing. 1. Lewis. Rhona peered over the edge of the cliff, grinning like a gargoyle. Far below, Lewis dangled in his harness, legs kicking, frantic with fear. "You were meant to hold on to the rocks," she called, her voice choked with laughter. "You weren't supposed to let go." "It isn't funny," he muttered. "Shut up, shut up, shut up." Terror was making his guts clench, his throat tighten. His palms were so clammy they slid on the rope. This was the polar opposite of funny. He was making a fool of himself, as he'd known he would. His list of fails was getting longer. He was rubbish at rugby, clueless at kayaking, a failure at football, and now, brand new to the list, abysmal at abseiling. And that was the edited version, not the complete list. Not even close. The instructor on the ground was yelling instructions, but he might as well have been speaking in Mandarin, like Lewis's mother when she chatted on the phone to Grandpa in his Beijing flat. Lewis could only make out every fifth word, then or now. He was too far up, a dizzying, terrifying distance from Earth. If his harness broke, he'd plummet head first onto rocks. He could imagine the sickening crack as his neck snapped on impact, his skull crushed, brains oozing from under the helmet, gloopy as frog spawn. That was the one thing Lewis excelled at, imagining worst-case scenarios. It was no struggle to picture his mother's face when she got the phone call, telling her the tragic news. He could hear her breaking down, distraught, sobbing at his funeral. "My poor boy. He had his whole life ahead of him. I should never have let him go. Why was I so selfish?" A major downside of being dead would be his inability to answer back, to remind her that he'd told her many times that he didn't want to go on the trip, and she hadn't listened, that she'd never listened. "Oi, Lewis, you look like my granny's soap on a rope." The vision dissolved, and Lewis was dragged back to real life, dangling from a cliff face, jagged rocks below.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?